What's up, weirdos? What's going on? How about that Bitcoin, huh? How about that Bitcoin? How the hell are you guys? What's going on? Look at that. Now, guys, I got some stuff to show you here that's pretty cool. So we're going to get into it. Super exciting stuff. And I'm going to show you why Bitcoin has a lot more pump to go. So I'm going to tell you why it's pumping like this, okay? But if you're confused, if you watched my video this morning, you'll know that I put this box up here, and I said that when we were down around 111,000-ish this morning, I said we were probably going to land somewhere in this box between 113 and 115K on the next leg up, and here we are, right? But all that to say, I'm going to break down why this is happening and what this structure is. We're going to have a look at it, guys. But first, we got to get into the super chats. What do we got? Sold my bags for a 4% profit. Nice. Nice. We got the big one here from Amazing Coins. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Rob, I have one complaint. I am so tired of you getting so lucky all the time and making everyone on the Patreon so much money. Keep up the great work. We all love you. Thank you so much. Hey, no problem, brother. No problem, man. That's what we do, man. The people on the Patreon, you go there, you win. It's that simple, right? And the sad reality of the situation is there's so many people that have been watching me for, I don't know, probably the years that I've been doing this that have not jumped over to the Patreon. And when the time comes that altcoin season's popping off and it comes time to take profits and they don't know what they're doing, they're going to be trying to get me to help them for free on YouTube, and I'm not going to. I'm telling you guys that well ahead of time, right? That if you want help with your exit strategies and your profit taking and knowing how to roll profits and when to roll profits and all that, and when the market's going to end and all that kind of stuff, you got to be a member of the Patreon, guys. You're not going to get help for free on YouTube from anybody, really. In fact, people on YouTube will probably steer you in the wrong direction and tell you that the market's going to keep going up. Right? So you got to be careful out there, guys. You got to be careful. Nothing comes for free. Remember that. Nothing comes for free. Cody, thank you so much for the super sticker, my friend. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's get into the chat a little bit before we get into what's going on with Bitcoin. William, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. God bless. Eplacity, God bless. Probably butchered that name. Paul, what's going on, my dude? Good to see you, man. J Money, we got Bulbasaur in the house. What else do we got? Cody with a second super sticker, dropping the 7 herbs and spices on me there. I love it. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Means a lot, man. It really does. The support for the channel means everything, guys. Jake the Snake, ape chooses biggest number. Ooga booga, when moon. BBP, what's up, man? If you had to choose one, would it be XCN or Zebek? Only one. I have conviction for Zebek personally. Personally, I'd probably go with Zebek if I had to choose between the two. Zebek TA, please. Altcoin requests go in the goals tab at the top of the chat. Matt, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Ty, good to see you. Hook 'em. Somebody bet Rob that Bitcoin will go down again. That worked well. Yeah. We never saw that guy again, remember? He bet me, if you guys don't know, this guy came on about 2 weeks ago, and he bet me on Thursday that he said Bitcoin would be at $96,000 by the end of Sunday. He said that on not this Thursday that just passed, but the Thursday before that, right? He bet me that. He forced a bet out of me, and I said, okay, I will bet you. The bet was I would give him $100 if it was $96,000, and he would send me a $100 super chat if it was not $96,000. And it so was not $96,000. It actually broke to the upside, not the downside. And then I never saw him again, so I never got that $100 super chat from him. Big surprise, right? A bear showed up, made a bet, and disappeared and couldn't stick to their word, right? That's why you can't believe negative, toxic people, guys, right? You got to stay away from them. There's no conviction in anything that they say, right? Nick, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna need you to talk about this. I'm gonna need you to not talk on this stream. Yeah, yeah. What was up with that guy? Eh? A guy, what's going on, man? Finished early, and now I got nothing but time on my hands. Let's go, nice. This is just a big tease of what is to come. Absolutely, Chris. Good to see you, brother. Onyx is back in the house. Good afternoon. Don't worry, I'm still alive and been getting things ready for. Yes, absolutely, man. I completely understand having a child in the world. Hey, man. Bringing a child into the world, it's a lot of work to get started, man. We were like painting bedrooms and putting cribs together and stocking up on everything you're going to need, right? I get it, brother. I get it. You got to store your sleep like a camel because you ain't going to get none. Spuds, what's happening, buddy? What else do we got? Oh, house. I will admit if I'm wrong, but I really don't see XCN hitting any higher than 5 cents. That's pushing it. Yeah, I think you're very wrong, but hey, not everybody bats 1,000, brother. Metal Detecting England, hey, Rob, and Crypto Fam, alt season is upon us. Not yet, but soon, man. The crown makes me happy when I see it next to my name. There you go. Quentin, what's going on, buddy? I'm back at number 1, baby. Sorry, JTS. Guys, as always, make sure that you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow, costs you absolutely nothing. It's free to do, and it helps the channel grow. It helps us beat out the algorithm that occasionally suppresses the channel. So go ahead and help us out with that. Let's continue on here. Rob, do you think it's at all possible that Powell lowers rates this month? I think there's a small, tiny, infinitesimal chance that he lowers rates. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think what I think is going to happen is if he even hints at a September cut, all through August, the market's going to price that in. So the market's going to pump, right? Now, that's not to say that the market's not going to continue pumping through July, but it's going to go next level in August if Powell implies a rate cut in September, right? So, Rob Mass equals the GOAT. Thank you, Crypto Big Dog. I appreciate it, man. Yo, what's good, EZ? Good to see you, man. Mario, Senior, Rob, and the fabulous Crypto Future Posse. We sound like a cowboy gang. Reach for the sky. Little Woody there for you. That music got me vibing for the J. Arthur. There you go. Let's get 200 likes, guys. What do we got? 279 people here. We got 86 likes. Let's smash the like, guys. We are getting close. Let's keep it going. A guy says, "Easy, the market is, and it makes us very, very happy." There you go. Jackie, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's starting to move faster. Absolutely. We got Big Mike dropping that 7 herbs and spices. Big Macho Man elbow drop on me there. $20 super sticker. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for always being here to support me, Big Mike. I appreciate you, man. You're always the guy. You're always here backing me up, man. Andy, what's up, buddy? Where's the 96K Bitcoin pick? Yeah, that guy bailed pretty quick, eh? Bets me $100, loses the bet, and then takes off, and I never see him. He probably changed his name on YouTube, his handle, and he's probably still here in the chat, right? That's Bitcoin Bears for you, man, right? Make a bet, talk smack, and then lose the bet, and be proven wrong, and then disappear and not live up to your end of the bet. Yeah, absolutely. It's not about the $100. I don't even care about that. Really what it comes down to is I would have respected him at least had he shown up and fulfilled his end of the deal, right? Because I would have. It's $100, whatever, right? But he lost my respect because he didn't follow through on a bet that he made. I didn't make the bet. He made the bet, right? So, yeah, he lost my respect when he did that. Well, he lost what little respect I would have had for a bear anyway. Bear did. What's up, buddy? The next leg for BTC, like 114,900-ish. Yeah, let's see where the poll's at. What do we got? I put a poll out, guys. Make sure you participate in the poll. I asked where Bitcoin will stop this leg up. 113,700, which is where it's been at so far. $115,000, $118,000, or $122,000, And right now, most of you guys, 39% of you guys think that Bitcoin's going to stop at $115,000. So we'll see who's right and who's wrong, man. We'll see we'll see who's wearing shorts when the tides roll out, right? Jake the Snake, thank you so much, brother. A guy, the king of Ohio needs not the digital crown. Hook'em, thank you so much, man. Guys, I really, really appreciate the support. Keep it going. I absolutely appreciate it. It means everything, man. It really, really does. All right, where else are we here? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I got to jump out of the chat soon so I can get into the news, guys. Mark Safe from being a sissy bear. Chicken wuss over the top. Alex says, see, the house hippos was the reason. Yes. Should we play? I should have done a poll again. Should we play the house hippo commercial to keep them to get the house hippo pump in effect again today? Should we play? Let me know in the chat, guys. Do you want to see the house hippo come out again? Joy, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get that Bitcoin. Let's go, Bitcoin. Everyone hit the likes. Yes. Ari, how you doing, Ari? Good to see you. Cryptus in the house. Overcome. El Curdo. Jasmine looking good. Yeah, Jasmine's breaking out, man. Jasmine's breaking out. Donald Pump. What's up, man? Only 66 likes. Come on, people. Yes, what are we at here? What do we have? 300 people and 106 likes. Let's get 200, guys. We can get 200. Like I always say. Like Ice Cube says, guys, you can do it. Put your back into it, right? Let's go. AF says, smash the like button. Oh, house. More likes equals larger bull run. It's science. Yes, it is scientifically proven. Easy, how's the M2 still melting faces upwards? Let's look at the M2. Let's see what's going on. We have not looked at the M2 in a couple of days, I don't think. I haven't looked at it today anyway. Let's have a looky-loo, shall we? All right. First of all, while we're on it, the Russell is continuing to break to the upside. Absolutely fantastic leg up for the daily on the Russell. That's what you want to see, guys. That is what you want to see. Let's check out the total 2 at the same time. The total 2 should be breaking out with the Russell. Yep, look at that. Look at the total 2, guys. Breaking out of the bull flag, just broke above the 200 today on the daily. Holy smokes, guys. We are moving and grooving. Absolutely love it. Total 2's making waves. Let's go look at the BTC. The BTC dominance. Let's see what's going on there. Has Bitcoin dominance topped? Oh, look at that. Bitcoin dominance is curling to the downside at the same time. Very nice. Looks like, our alt's about to make a move, guys. Very interesting. Daryl, play the house hippo. All right, guys. I will play the house hippo for you guys right after I check the M2 money supply. And then we will play the house hippo. People are asking, what's the house hippo? Every time we play the house hippo, the market pumps. That's what the house hippo is, okay? So let's check out the M2, and then we'll play the house hippo. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin breaking out of the bull flag. Let's add the M2 back in. It's kind of a little downward. It's going southeast right now. It's going southeast. Not bad. But look at that. Look at that perfect leg up here that we got going for Bitcoin. Look at this. Oh, here we go. There we go. Looking good, man. Looking good for the next stretch. Let's keep it going. Keep it growing. What else do we have? We got some more super chats. Clint with the super sticker. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless. Cody, do me a favor, crypto family. Go hit the likes on Crypto Blueprint and subscribe. Yes, Cody, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, make sure you guys are subbed over on Crypto Blueprint as well, guys. I do drop exclusive content over there also. You do not want to miss it. All right, let's get into the house hippo. All right, we need to play the house hippo, guys, for the market to pump. Now, the reason that we play the house hippo before I play it, I'm going to let you know, all right? The reason we play the house hippo video is because it teaches you a very crucial lesson to not just believe whatever you see online, right? Now it relates from the 90s. It's actually a Canadian commercial from the 90s. But the message is, no matter how convincing something is that you see, always do your research and use critical thinking, right? And this relates back to something like Zebek, when everyone was calling it, a rug and stuff like that last week, right? A lot of people did not do their research on it and did not do critical thinking, and they lost money as a result. So let's get into the lesson of the house hippo and get the house hippo pump going for the day. Let's check it out, guys.
It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV and ask questions.
The house hippo pump in full effect, baby. All right, let's frickin' go. Absolutely. All right, let's go. I want to show you guys something. I got to jump out of the chat, guys. If you want to get my attention, send it over in a super chat for now, because I got to get into some of the news. Let's get into what's going on. Now, why is this Bitcoin chart? Why did I change things on the chart here? I cleaned it up, and why did I do that? Well, as I said earlier this morning, you guys saw me put this box in when we were down around $111,000. I said we were going to come up between 113 and 115, and here we are, $113,464. And so, listen, why is this important? Why is this structure important? Well, I want to show you guys something, a perfect pattern, okay, that's kind of played out here. Now, this is the Wyckoff, all right? Wyckoff. So we've come down, right? So here we go. We've put in a high, and then we put in a lower high over here. If you can see my cursor, right? We put in a high, came down, put in a lower high, and then we came down for the spring. We came down. Now right here is important because we came back up and we consolidated right here at the end, right? And then we bounced to the upside and we kept going, right? Now, see you tomorrow, house hippo. So now keep note of these key important factors on Wyckoff accumulation, okay? We've got our high, then we've got our lower high. We dump, come back up, consolidate, and then we take off, okay? Now, let's go look at Bitcoin's chart. What do we have here, right? What do we have? We have our high. We have our lower high. We dumped, right? Came back up, we consolidated, and we broke to the upside. So our Wyckoff accumulation is playing out perfectly right now, guys. Absolutely perfectly, right? And what's important is that hang on a sec, let me clean this up a little bit. So what's important is that now, I mean, obviously we want to stay above the old all-time high now of $111,675, whatever. That we got to stay above that last all-time high, right? We don't want to come back down. And we definitely don't want to come back down below this trend line here, right? So we don't want any dumps down below this to put in a lower high, right? We're doing good. We've put in a higher high. Now what we need to do is close today's daily candle above this white line, right? That's what we need to do today. So that's what you're going to be paying attention to. A lot of people ask me, well, where do we need to close today and stuff? So this is where we need to close, above this line, okay? $111,746 roughly, give or take, right? So the previous all-time high, basically. So we need to close above it. And then we will officially have put in a higher high. And then it is Moon City. We could continue up tonight, guys, depending on where this daily candle closes. This could be very, very exciting, right? Now here's the only thing. I want to preface something here, okay? There's one thing that's really, really, the only thing that's got me, I don't want to say nervous, but, cautious about a possible correction, okay? And that is, boom, the liquidation levels, right? If you have a look at Bitcoin on the longs, there's not very many shorts, right? I mean, if we shoot up to $115,000, $115,800, we'll liquidate 1.28 billion in shorts, right? So we could see a little bit of a short squeeze propelling us higher. However, this is the word of caution. If we drop back down to $108,000, we will see $4.09 billion in long liquidations. That is a big long squeeze, right? So that has me a little bit cautious that we could see market makers go after this liquidity. That's a lot of liquidity built up on the long side right now, right? So I would not be shocked to see like a spike up and then a spike back down, or the reverse, see a spike down to 108,000 followed by a fast recovery shooting up to 114, 115, clearing out all of this liquidity. That would not surprise me at all. So be careful. I would not recommend leverage trading right now. It's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but there could be some massive volatility as a result of all of this liquidity, or all of this leverage trading in the system right now, right? So be careful. Hook'em, House Hippo needs to be your intro video. I think a lot of people would unsubscribe if House Hippo was my intro video. So be careful, guys. We could be in for a little bit of a bumpy ride, but either way, I am here for every little bit of it, all right? Okay, so let's get into the news, shall we? Let's get into the news a little bit here. But first, as we always do, guys, a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. Simply use our link down below to get a fantastic deal. They got a 2-for-1 special on the biometric wallet right now. Guys, keep your crypto safe. You can take profits on there. You can swap on there without ever going back to a centralized exchange, and you can even stake on there. Yes, you can stake your stablecoin through the bear market and gain APY. Guys, listen, everybody's going to need a self-custody wallet going into the next cycle anyways, right? Because you're going to be accumulating in a bear market and holding these coins for at least 3 or 4 years. It doesn't make sense, and it's not safe to hold your crypto on an exchange for 3 or 4 years. That's high risk of being hacked or having your crypto taken from you. Get yourself a self-custody wallet so your crypto is safe, right? Ari says, I got my Decent wallet yesterday, and it was super easy to set up. Yeah, they're very easy to use. Very easy to use. You don't have to be tech savvy to figure it out. Absolutely. Again, just use our link down below, guys, in the description. Get yourself a great, great deal. Okay, so let's go. Let's get into some of the news today. What do we have here? Pomp says, everyone predicted inflation was going to explode with tariffs. The exact opposite happened. Stop listening to the academic economists. Check it out.
Oh boy, do we have a narrative violation on our hands. Every single person told you the tariffs are going to be inflationary. Well, guess what? They were all wrong. Tariffs are deflationary, as I said, and we now have indisputable proof. You can see through Trueflation that inflation has been coming down. It now sits at 1.66%. Wow. This is a real-time alternative inflation metric that is more accurate than the Fed's measurements because it doesn't look at backwards-looking data. It looks at data today. Now, one of the things that the critics will say is, oh, but he said that there was really high tariff rates, and then he brought them down. Yeah, that's true. But remember, the majority of U.S. imports right now still have a blanket 10% or higher tariff. That never went away. We never paused that main tariff. And so if you want to see indisputable proof that the tariffs are still on, look at the tariff revenue that the US government is booking. This all brings me back to the most important fact of this entire couple of weeks. When dissent is outlawed, it usually means that the majority is wrong. And that's what happened here. You had a bunch of academics who ran around and said tariffs are bad. The shelves are going to be empty. Inflation's going to explode. There's going to be a massive recession. None of that happened. We didn't get a recession. The shelves weren't empty. And actually, inflation went down, not up. So remember to think for yourself. Be somebody who doesn't just follow the sheep of the mainstream media and the academic economists. When they say that dissent is outlawed, you can almost always take the other side.
I agree with them. You got to think for yourselves, guys. You got to think for yourselves. So here's the thing. If inflation is indeed below 2%, now correct me if I'm wrong, but was 2% not the goal for Powell? So if inflation come the readings later this month is below 2%, and he kept saying that 2% was their goal, what is his excuse going to be at the end of this month to not cut rates? At that point, you would have to assume the only logical explanation, if they refuse to cut rates when inflation is below 2%, which they've said all along was the goal, right? You would have to logically assume he's doing it despite the current administration. There's no other explanation. There's no other excuse. You've reached your goal. You've actually hit higher. You've attained your better than what your goal was. So if you've reached your goal and you're still not going to cut rates, I think it's because of who's in office that you're not cutting rates at that point. But I will add to what I'm saying here, and that I think he's not going to cut rates this month. He's going to say, well, we need to see if it's maintained now, right? So then he'll imply that September they will cut rates. That's going to lead to a massive rally all the way through August, pricing in rate cuts, right? That's what I think is going to happen. So, yeah. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Check it out, guys. Fox Business says Bitcoin price is coiled like a spring upside to $170,000.
Well, see, I want to take another look at another name that you like here, and that's Bitcoin. Now, if I read the notes properly, did you say 140,000 for Bitcoin? It's possible from here?
It's very possible with
Really?
upside from there. And I don't want to oversell it. And look, I'll leave the story to the pump, but I focus on the charts. And this chart is coiled like a spring here. Now, keep in mind, as many of these momentum stocks have surged off the bottom, Bitcoin's been doing yeoman's work of consolidating within this well-defined trading channel. But it is coiled, as I said, to break out and play catch up to names like Coinbase, names like Robinhood that are already back at the high. So a breakout above 110, which is last resistance, projects measured upside to 140 with upside from there to 170 as well.
See, I want to take
170, baby. Let's go. You guys know my price targets for Bitcoin, 150, 200 on the most bullish scenario. But okay, U.S. Senate to release Clarity Act draft amid crypto week. That's right, crypto week's coming up next week too, guys. Now I've kind of felt like it's going to be a bit of a nothing burger, but that doesn't mean I'm always right. It could be a nice catalyst, right? So that if Bitcoin continues to climb and then we see crypto week start to pump things even further, could be a good month, guys. The release of the Clarity Act draft is significant, as it will modernize digital asset regulations and potentially stimulate institutional market growth. The upcoming Clarity Act draft, developed by the U.S. Senate Banking Committee, aligns with the House's prior advancement of similar legislation. This coordination signifies a unified legislative push in crypto regulations. Senator Bill Hagerty plays a prominent role in advocating for quick Senate action. Quote, looking forward to working with my colleagues to move the Clarity Act through the Senate in short order. The draft indicates the CFTC will have primary oversight over digital commodities, directing compliance changes for exchanges and custodians. It entails standards for distinguishing investment contracts. Oh, sorry guys, my phone is giving me an Amber Alert. Sorry, all my phones went off. I apologize, guys. At least I had the sound off so that they didn't go nuts. Anyway, the draft indicates, the CFTC, it entails standards for distinguishing investment contracts impacting BTC and Ethereum classifications. Institutional strategies may shift amidst these regulatory pathways. Immediate effects include reclassification of digital assets, posing adjustments for entities in finance and technology sectors. Market structure reforms cater to institutional investors, ensuring compliant operations. The shift aims to encourage broader adoption of digital currencies under a transparent framework. Otaku, I see you, brother. I see you, man. I was watching your live stream this morning before you went. How did your third job interview go at that company, brother? Let me know. Potential outcomes include growth in institutional participation due to the clear delimitation within the Act. Historical precedents show stronger regulatory clarity boosts investor confidence. As the draft progresses, attention will focus on its integration of potential amendments aligning with industry needs. So just one more bullish catalyst that's going to be happening through Crypto Week, starting in 4 days, you guys. So very, very exciting there. And of course, let's get into some Squawk Box, guys. Let's get into some Squawk Box. You guys know we love it.
Let's talk about markets, all of them, tariffs, the Fed, and much more with Greg Fleming, President and CEO of Rockefeller Capital Management. Rockefeller. That'd be a lot of money there at this point, right, Greg?
It's also an incredible name.
No, I know. Broad shoulders, though. You got a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
Former president of Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. You were huge at Merrill and played a big role in maybe salvaging what was left of Merrill in 2008. Now it's flourishing again. So
yes.
You've had
a great deal for Bank of America. Looking back,
great deal for Bank of America. You have a storied career and probably know how to analyze this stuff as well as anyone. Are you?
Thank you.
You feeling good?
Yes, I'm feeling generally good. I think what the American economy has shown in the last 3 or 4 months, the word I'm using is resilience. There's still a tremendous amount of resilience across the economy. There has been a lot of uncertainty, and there remains some uncertainty. Some of that has settled, and markets have reacted to that. But I think the economy is still hanging in there.
There's tailwinds. There's a headwind. But if you were doing a Ben Franklin close, you know how to do that? Pros and cons. Yeah. You add them up and decide how to make a decision. Ben Franklin was pretty smart.
Very smart.
Very smart.
Many great quotations he had. Yes.
He did. So now, even with the bill that was just passed, companies know tax rates are not going up. They know they can do 100% expensing of equipment.
That's a big thing.
I can give you a lot more if you want.
Yeah.
There's deregulation. There's
AI. You and I have talked about AI. You heard about Grok last night.
Well, I don't. Grok. I can't get the real story on Grok.
The 44% on that test that they built,
right?
Which was more than they were even anticipating.
So, how the tariffs right now? August 1st, we'll see. I don't know, but do the tariff uncertainty, does that on the Ben Franklin close, does that get worth 10 other things, or why has it been so front and center?
Well, you gave a good list, Joe, of things that have been settled. So better or worse, tailwinds. The bill,
antitrust.
The budget is settled. It's behind us. There are positives and negatives in it, but it's settled and it's behind us, and there's certainty there. On the tariff side, there's certainly more certainty than there was in April. We've pulled back a whole bunch of uncertainty into the equation now, but businesses are also, I think, a little calmer about what that's going to bring. You've had several months of tariff revenue of 25 billion, 30 billion. So you're seeing the pricing effect start to work its way through. I don't think it's really yet impacted consumer behavior in a big way. And we still have to worry about the inflationary effect.
Do we?
Well, it's And it may be that along the value chain, different entities eat different pieces, and the consumer only gets so much at the end.
Lodging collapse, all the inflation in that part of, you got energy prices. I can get under $3 on gas,
and those are all huge positives. I do think the Fed will continue
for inflation.
And I think because of that, but even with those positives, the Fed is going to wait, and I think they should, because the thing that they need to avoid most, they don't want to start to deal with an economy that's hanging in there, cutting rates, and then have inflation come later. They need to avoid that word stagflation, which you and I have to go a long way back to worry about stagflation. So for them, the most important thing is to make sure when they start to move on a economy that's got tailwinds, and you just laid out a whole bunch of them, but some weakness, when they start to move on that, they want to make sure that they're not going to 3-6 months later start to see inflation with more momentum than anybody anticipates now, even though your points are fair. Well, so far, the data says it's not there.
Valid. So far, so good. So far, so good. Otaku. Long story short, good. Creative honesty. No more full time for me. Maybe in the bear market. It hurts because I see them desperately need help. Yeah, but you know what, man? You are your own custodian, like God said, right? You got to take care of yourself first, and then help others, right? You can't, what I mean by that is you can't give all of yourself to the company, right? Because at the end of the day, if you were to die tomorrow, they'd be filling your job before you were buried, right? So you got to remember that, brother. You got to remember, they don't feel bad for you. So you help where you can, do what you can, right? Crypto market breakout, early stages of a bull run. Absolutely. Yes. OG Boban says, Otaku, just buy the company. Yeah. Become the Elon Musk of the company, man. Right. And become the Michael Saylor and start splitting their shares to buy Bitcoin for their balance sheets. Do that. The crypto market is currently showing early signs of a powerful breakout. Based on the total market cap chart, the entire digital asset space has just emerged from a long consolidation phase, confirming a bullish monthly breakout. This is often the phase where smart money starts accumulating heavily while retail investors are yet to fully catch on. Wise words, Master Rob, thanks. The breakout suggests that the crypto market is entering a new growth phase, and the momentum could be sustained for months, if not years. Historical patterns indicate that when such a breakout occurs, the rally often gains strength quickly, bringing large gains across the board from Bitcoin to altcoins. While Bitcoin has already seen moderate gains, its major parabolic leg is still ahead. In previous bull cycles, the largest gains typically came after the initial breakout, and we seem to be following a similar trajectory right now. Bitcoin is often the leader in crypto sentiment. Once it starts its steep ascent, confidence across the entire crypto market increases, attracting more capital and triggering a broader altcoin season for investors. This means there's still significant upside potential if the trend holds. So when could the market top? Looking at macro trends, some analysts suggest the overall crypto market could could occur in Q4. No, it's not topping in Q4 of 2026, guys. That would be a 5-year cycle, right? The estimate is based on previous market cycles, typically lasting around 3 to 4 years from the beginning of the breakout to the top. That's not how a 4-year cycle is measured. It's not measured by the breakout. It's measured by the bottom of the bear market. And it's actually technically measured by the Bitcoin halving, not by anything else, right? Of course, no one can predict the exact timing, but recognizing that we're still in this current cycle, it's crucial staying informed and watching for further confirmations like stronger BTC momentum and higher trading volumes. Guys, I got to be honest with you, if anybody who thinks that Bitcoin's going to continue rallying until Q4 of 2026, I got a bridge to nowhere that I'll sell you to, right? This one goes to 11. Master Yoda says, begun the pump has. Yes. Loving the views from your new $1 million apartment in Toronto. Yes. Right across, I got the ACC back there, right? Or it's not the ACC anymore. It's a Scotiabank Arena. My bad. All right. What else do we have? 11. Yeah, it's the 11-year cycle now. Yep. This one goes to 11. Yep. All right. So what do we have? A lot more M&A will come with less volatility, more practicality, says Paul Weiss.
Microsoft getting an upgrade this morning from Oppenheimer, upgrading the stock to an outperform $600 price target. The analyst says AI revenue will be a big driver for the company. The stock up just fractionally, up 0.8% pre-market.
All right, let's talk about mergers and acquisitions in the IPO market. What could drive deals in the second half of the year? Joining us now is Robert Kindler, Global Chair of the Mergers and Acquisitions Group at Paul Weiss. Good morning. It's been a while. It's great to have you here, especially in studio. We've heard a couple of conflicting things. One is that it's been really quiet, and that all of the excitement about the Trump administration and the tailwinds for M&A activity, or even Justice Department type things, would usher in a much better environment than we've seen recently. And then it looked like it didn't. But then we had people come in and say, yeah, in fact, that managers are saying, come back from, this was earlier, but come back from vacation. We're getting ready as of January 20th.
Getting ready, baby.
Well, I think, when you talk to M&A people, it's always a good time for M&A, no matter what.
It's like real estate people.
It doesn't matter. If the market's up, you do stock deals. The market's down, you do cash deals. But what really hurt M&A early this year was volatility. That was the issue in the market. It's very hard to do deals. And, you correctly made the call that people were overreacting to everything, right? You had these wild swings in S&P, and you said quite rightly, this doesn't make any sense. But the fact is, you can't do M&A deals when you have wild swings in value.
You mean the Liberation Day? You mean
all the things that caused wild swings in volatility? You just can't come to terms. And then you made the point, which is the question, that everyone expected antitrust to be easier, right, under the new administration. And I think people were waiting to see whether that is true. And I think we now know it is true. The last administration was really impossible to get anything done. They were resurrecting theories of antitrust that were long ago dispelled.
Why do you think? Why?
I think you had an academic running it, and you had a administration that at least felt that it needed to stop deals. Now, if you look at the first Trump administration, or even now, it's a much more pragmatic view. It's not that they're not populist in wanting to protect people, but it's just a pragmatic view. So if you look at the first administration, they approved the T-Mobile deal with Sprint, something that was rejected before, because they took the view that that was good for consumers. And you know what? They were right. Having a third competitor was really important. So in the prior administration, you saw a very practical view. And I think now that the market is kind of stabilized from a volatility perspective, now we see that this administration really is much more practical. Just to give some examples, the prior administration wouldn't enter into consent decrees to help solve the problems, right? This administration, they approved the Hewlett-Packard deal for Juniper, and they agreed that there'd be some divestitures. They're willing to negotiate to do the right things to get deals done. Look also at the U.S. Steel, which, longtime client of mine when I was at Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, that deal made perfect sense. And yet it was blocked for political reasons last time. So I think now that people see that there's less volatility and more practicality in the market, I think we're going to see a lot more.
It's hard to understand, but I can figure it out. It was almost the notion that bigger is just going to be worse for consumers, and bigger in terms of big corporations. I mean, every time President Biden spoke, I was always struck with almost an animosity towards corporate. I'm from Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. I mean, it's a given. But from the chief executive of the country, I was hearing the same kind of anti-corporate, just almost in every single State of the Union or campaign speech. I understand that's populism, but I think it seeped into antitrust almost.
Oh, it was impossible. And now you have an administration that is definitely populist. They want to do the right thing for consumers. They don't want prices to go up, but they're being pragmatic.
Pragmatic populist.
You know, and also just I'd point out that it's not that getting deals is going to be easy to get deals done. In Europe, it's very, very challenging. In the U.S., it's going to continue. People are going to look closely at deals. When I first went into banking, which was 25 years ago, the first call was always to the bankers. Let's see if we can put this deal together. Now the first call is to the lawyers, because the first question is, can we get this done? Not just in the U.S., but can we get it done in Europe, which really hasn't changed. So it's not that we're not going to get reviews. It's not that it's not going to take a long time. It's just that now we're dealing with someone who's being rational.
I think you're going to start to see mergers and acquisitions start to work their way into the crypto space as we get more and more regulatory clarity. And that's going to throw a lot of inexperienced people off. You're going to see a lot of people abandon a lot of projects because they don't understand, right? Like you're going to see, companies like, for example, I don't know, I'm just making some stuff up here. Let's say we'll see Myria start buying up, gaming projects, right? Gaming companies and projects. And then the people who are invested in the gaming projects that Myria buys are going to abandon the project because they don't understand mergers and acquisitions. They don't understand that it's actually not a bad thing. And it could be better for the project that they're in. A lot of that stuff, or it could be worse. It depends, right? And that's where a lack of research comes into play, right? So I think M&A is going to cause a lot of headaches for a lot of people who don't really know what they're doing in this space. Guys, you have to understand, there's a lot of people in this space who are just kind of floating around and they think they know what they're doing, right? That's why so many people don't make money in crypto. They don't seek education. They don't seek help. They think they've got it figured out. Then they get wrecked because they don't have it figured out. And then it's somebody else's fault, right? Are you one of those people? That's the question. Like, figure this one out, guys. You guys over on the Patreon, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? People over on the Patreon are making life-changing wealth. We've helped 43 people hit seven-figure portfolios over there now. And so many other people have hit six figures, so on and so forth, and continue to win for like $20 or something like that. And there's still people that are watching. They're like, I'm not paying $20 so that I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to keep my $20. They don't, like, the trade-off is absurd, to be honest with you, right? But that's why some of the other channels charge like $100 a month, $1,000 a month, because you're making, if they're good, like over on our Patreon, for example, you're making tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, I have it, just so you guys know, on the Patreon, I have a swing trade that I'm going to be putting in today, guys, just so that you know. So, a potential swing trade over there. And people are just like, no, I want it for free. I want someone to teach me how. No one's going to make you rich for free. Nobody, right? So, Trump slams tariffs on Brazil and 21 countries. Trump claimed full credit for Thursday for the rally in crypto, tech stocks, and Nvidia, just as Wall Street recorded another round of record highs. In a post on Truth Social, he wrote, "Tech stocks, industrial stocks, and Nasdaq hit all-time high record highs. Crypto through the roof. Nvidia, I wouldn't say crypto's through the roof. I mean, crypto's recovering. I wouldn't say it's through the roof, though, right? Bitcoin's hitting a new all-time high. Altcoins are melting their way up. I want to see a good, 100. If Bitcoin breaks out above $118,000, $119,000, $120,000, then I'll say crypto's through the roof, right? We're only up a couple of G bars. According to data from CNBC, the Dow Jones Industrial Average surged by 217 points, equal to 0.5% gain. The S&P 500 rose 0.2%, and the Nasdaq set a new record right after opening. Though it hovered around the flat line by press time, the movement followed Trump's announcement of a new trade tariff. We included a 50% duty on the imported copper sets to begin on August 1st. He also imposed 50% tariffs on Brazil, stating that it was partly a response to the legal proceedings against former Brazilian president who is on trial for allegedly trying to overturn the 2022 election. He said the measure also addressed the very unfair trade relationship. The two countries has been far from reciprocal. Okay. Yamagatis, I see you. There you're at. Sorry I'm late. 50 push-ups for me. Yes, get those gains in. Get those gains in. Thank you so much. Yes, Jake the Snake, he said duty. Jay says, that's okay, Rob. If they don't want to join the Patreon, they can be our exit liquidity. Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, here's the thing, Jay, is that most of the people who don't want to join the Patreon, they want it for free. They're the ones that are going to be asking me in the chat on YouTube for free help when it comes time to take profits and stuff, and they don't know what they're doing. I'm sitting here offering education right now, saying get over to the Patreon and we will educate you so you have the tools you need. But they don't want to pay for the tools. They're going to ask for free help, and I'm not going to provide it to them, right? Gamma Goddess, it's my 3-year-old's fault. Well, tell your 3-year-old to do 50 push-ups then. I'm kidding. Don't tell your 3-year-old to do 50 push-ups. But the tariffs don't stop with Brazil. Before the announcement, Trump had already sent out formal letters to at least 7 other countries with details on new tariffs. Earlier in the same week, letters. So he thinks that because he's adding tariffs, that markets are pumping and he gets credit for. No, isn't it the opposite? New tariffs dump markets. I think that the market's pumping despite what he's doing, not because of what he's doing, right? The Labor Department reported that the initial unemployment claims fell by 5,000 last week to seasonally adjusted 227,000, beating the Dow Jones estimate of 235,000. That drop suggests that layoffs are still low. But continuing claims, which track people still receiving benefits, rose to 1.96 million, claiming 10% of the highest level since November 13th, 2021. That increase showed that long-term unemployment is still growing even as fewer new claims are being filed. At the same time, Bank of America warned that inflation could rise again soon. An economist at the bank wrote, "We expect inflation to accelerate over the coming months, in large part due to the tariff-related." They've been saying that for months. I was saying that for months, right? But we've actually seen inflation continue to drop. It's going in the opposite direction. So I don't know. We'll have to stay on top of it. That's what she said. All right, what else do we have? Ripple CEO. We gotta have. I know it was yesterday, but we gotta see Brad Garlinghouse on Squawk Box, guys. Come on now, right?
Ripple announcing just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Wow, that's a nice shot, Brad. It suits you well. You're looking very, very even presidential almost. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be back on Squawk Box.
You need a custodian for your stablecoin. Why BNY?
Well, look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
I mean, all the way back to that duel, I think, right? Is that Bank of New York? I think, yeah, Alexander Hamilton. It goes back a ways, doesn't it?
That one goes way back. I didn't put a number out there because I wasn't sure how many years it's been. But the BNY Mellon, we feel very lucky to be partnered with them, and we think, again, building trust for the whole industry and having RLUSD, our stablecoin, which just passed $500 million in market cap. We launched only about 6 months ago, so we're really pleased with that trend line and feel like this will only continue to build that trust.
It's small compared to some of your competitors, though, at this point. How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. You know, many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market, given our institutional background, given the fact we've leaned into compliance and been very regulated. We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
You still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account. We think that the key here for crypto and the kind of decentralized finance, as many people call it, Ripple has been building bridges between traditional finance and decentralized finance. The world isn't going to be taken over by crypto. Instead, we think about how do we take the best of what crypto brings in facilitating faster, cheaper transactions and bring it to traditional finance. That's been at the heart of what Ripple has been focused on from the beginning. This is a step towards that, and certainly getting an OCC license, for those that have said that the crypto world wants to be unregulated, whatever, the opposite is true. You know, I'm here in Washington in part, as you referenced, there's a Senate Banking Committee hearing today. We are advocating as an industry to be regulated. And those that, like Ripple, who have stepped forward and said, we want to get an OCC license, in addition to the licenses we have with the New York Department of Financial Services, it only continues to augment that very robust, very compliance-first, trusted partner so that we can continue to use these technologies to benefit consumers and businesses alike.
That's a big partnership for Ripple, guys. Big partnership for Ripple, in my opinion. Big Mike, I see your question there, brother. I see your question, man. Let me have a look at the chart here. I am a big fan of Wax, my friend. But let me look at the chart. Maybe it's not on there. Hang on a second. All right, what do we have here? Yes, I am a big fan of Wax. I mean, they are more of a utility play, right? Smart contract, play to earn, NFT, layer 1, GameFi. They've got a lot of very big tags. I am very bullish on it. For full transparency, I don't hold any Wax. I wish I did. I actually did a breakdown video of Wax over on the Patreon a few months ago. So definitely check out the video library on the Patreon as well for my thoughts on Wax long term. But yeah, we've been in a pretty big, we're on the hourly here. We're in a pretty big accumulation phase. We've been in for a while now. Yeah, we're getting ready to go here, man. We've got a double bottom on Wax right now. Yeah, you're looking nice. Yeah. It's just breaking out right now, to be honest with you, man. It's just breaking out, as you can see if we zoom in. You're just getting the breakout, right? So this is going to pump nicely, man. This is going to have a nice pump. So, yes. As for how high I think it's going to go, I mean, I mean, the tokenomics are really, really good, man. Really, really good. 3.7 billion. It could go pretty high, man. Like all-time high, I could see close. I mean, listen, I could see at least $1.25 is possible with that tokenomics, right? So yeah, and they've been doing a lot. I've been following Wax over on Twitter, over on X for a long time now, and there's constant updates and stuff as well. They're very busy developing and stuff like that, partnerships. So yes, I am very bullish on Wax, my friend. Ramona, she made it. I've been in a meeting just listening, but I just got out and want to tell everyone to like and subscribe. Yes, we miss you, Ramona. We missed you. We were like, where is Ramona? What do we got? 180 likes, guys. We're so close. We need 20 more likes. Absolutely. So, yes. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Wax. You think it will be a summer or fall play? I think it's, I mean, technically everything's going to be a fall play. But I think it's a utility play, so you'll probably see it start to pop off. It's a midterm play, like I think somewhere in the middle, but the blow off top for a lot of altcoins is going to happen in the Q4 of this year, right? So it depends on what your exit price point is for Wax, right? If you're planning on taking profits on Wax at like 25 cents or something like that, probably sometime maybe near the end of August, you could have that, but I don't know where you're planning on taking profits though. So, all right, so let's go back over to Bitcoin and have a look. All right, so looking good, guys. Looking good. Still up 113,400. Yeah, it's all looking good, guys. I'm bullish. I hope you're bullish. Everybody's bullish. This is going to be fun, guys. This is going to be a fun couple of months. It really, really is. I do have a video coming out this afternoon, though, with a word of caution for your altcoins, guys. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. I also have a swing trade video I will be uploading over on the Patreon shortly after I'm done this video here, or this live stream. And then I have our daily picks, our daily altcoin pick video on the Patreon I will be uploading soon too. So I got 2 videos coming out over on the Patreon. If you want to get in on this swing trade that I'm about to release over there, guys, get over to the Patreon now. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. A nice little opportunity for you. Plus constant passive income opportunities. Got another one of those videos I will be uploading probably this weekend. So you're not going to want to miss that. Join our coaching calls, join our live streams over there every single day, guys. Get the guidance and help that you need, because listen, buying is easy, guys. Knowing when to sell is hard, okay? And if you have no idea what you're doing, if you think you're just going to sell, for example, if you've got Jasmine, you're like, I'm just going to sell Jasmine at 50 cents, no problem. It might not be liquidity where you're targeting, and you're going to end up holding your Jasmine for 4 more years. So don't be one of those people, man. Get aboard the Patreon. We will help you design an exit strategy that's going to work for you. We will help you pick your exit price points. Beebs, I see you, brother. I'm excited. Just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. So yeah. So listen, guys. Plus, I have a live this afternoon over on the Patreon I got to do as well. So I will see you guys over there in a bit. Thank you so much to everyone for the super chats, for showing up and supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you guys. Bitcoin 113,500. Let's freaking get to 120,000, guys. Absolutely. And Gamma, thank you so much. Bitcoin at 113K is amazing. Absolutely. Can I get an amen to that? All right, guys, I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to get this content uploaded to the Patreon. We're going to do a live. We're going to have a good time. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. See you guys in the next one. Oh, Lion's Den drops one in last second. I bet you $100 you're the man, and I win because you... Well played, sir. Well played. I appreciate you, brother. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on the Patreon in about a half an hour after I eat lunch. Okay. God bless.